Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Chef JJ Johnson and I'm here to show you everything about rice. Today is about the rice and bean hand snack. It's with beautiful rice, it's delicious, it's easy, and you can make it for your kids, you can make it for yourself. It's from my new cookbook, The Simple Art of Rice, right here. And I believe we're all struggling with rice, or if you make rice really good, you're gonna love every page in here. Look, I have my Auntie Lane's curry rice, black rice salad with coconut lime dressing, but most of all, it's about the rice and bean hand snack, and we're gonna jump right into it. All right, listen, I know there's a huge debate. Should you wash rice? Should you not wash rice? I'm not arguing with my grandma, and I'm not gonna argue with your grandmother either, so you have to wash the rice until the water runs clear. All right, so the rice, I rinse for about 4 times, and the reason why you wanna do that is you wanna get all that preservatives off. Remember, rice is grown in the ground. There's no reason why you should just open the bag of rice or the barrel of rice and just wanna cook it. In this pot, I'm gonna throw in some butter. We're gonna sweat this down and then we're gonna toast the rice in the butter. Now I know you're thinking, oh, you washed the rice, now how are you gonna toast the rice? You can still toast the rice. It's gonna get that nice popcornous flavor, I call it, which is really good. And then we're gonna add in the rice right in. It's gonna pop a little bit. And then you just kind of stir this up. And you're letting that butter coat in every area of the rice grains. Now, our rice has all this beautiful butter around it. And the trick here is you want to take the wooden spoon and you want to make the rice all even around, okay? And before I add in the water, you've been messing up your rice. I know you've been messing up your rice. But don't worry. The reason why is because rice doubles in size. And you've been using a small pot, right? And the rice can't grow. So you're getting hard rice on the top, overcooked rice on the bottom. So remember, the grain needs to grow. So typically I would use the finger trick, but when you're toasting the rice, you can't do the finger trick, right? I'm not gonna make you put your finger inside of this hot pot, right? So I know the perfect measurement is right here. For the amount of rice we put, I have the water measured out perfectly. It's about 3.5 cups about. And you just pour it right down the middle, okay? And then turn the heat to about medium heat, put the top on, and I'm not adding the salt until the rice is cooked. Now, if you put the salt in the pot right now, the rice is gonna tighten up and it's not gonna allow for it to explode. And that's the trick of cooking rice, is don't add the salt in the pot until you're done. Come on, you heard me, say it again. Don't add the salt in the pot until it's done.
Don't add the salt in the pot until it's done.
Now look at this, everybody. Look how beautiful this is gonna look. Woo. And this is where the magic happens. You start to fluff the rice. So you take that fork and you fluff it. And then you add in the salt. Oh, look at this. I'm fluffing rice and then look what I got at the bottom of the pot. The crispy part of the bottom of the pot right there. You hear that crunch? And then what I like to do is I like to let my rice rest, just like I like to let my steak rest or my scallops rest for about 2 minutes, just to let the final mist, that final steam with the salt get all absorbed really beautiful. We let that rest, and then we zest the lime right in here. So a good amount of lime zest in here. We're doing about 2 limes. So don't press down too hard when you're zesting your lime. I like to just rotate it in a circle from top to bottom. And I want all that beautiful lime flavor. That smells great. And then we just fluff that up great. We want to get that everywhere. Adding just a little bit of oil here, evenly coat the pan. Listen, it's not like a cast iron pan. When you pick it up and it's heavy, you know it's a good cast iron pan. So we're gonna add a little bit of this chorizo in here. And I don't want the pan too hot, right? I want a little bit of sizzle, and I wanna make sure you're not overcrowding the pan, okay? The chorizo is gonna bring a little bit of smoke punch, a little bit of spice punch, and this is one of those things that go really nicely together with black beans and rice. I think one of the most beautiful things when you're cooking chorizo is you're gonna have that leftover fat. You could take that leftover fat and just pour it right on some rice that you're trying to heat up the next day and make some beautiful fried rice with it. Or just heat up the fat and pour it over top of hot white rice or brown rice. It's gonna be delicious. So it's starting to cook here. I'm gonna break it up. And breaking it up really allows you to get it in nice pieces. Come on now, that smells good. Really good. And when you have that vegan coming over, don't think you can't make them the same recipe. You can get that plant-based chorizo, or you can make plant-based chorizo for everybody and put it on the table and see what they think about it if you're that vegan, and they might think you came to the other side. So, just gonna mix that up. You can see, look at this, nice golden brown color. And now this is the magic. Strain it out, because you don't want to get rid of that fat. So just let it strain. Just pour that chorizo right into that fine mesh strainer. Don't leave any chorizo behind, nothing behind. This is beautiful fat here. And then in this bowl, we just pour our chorizo. Come on, guys, come on. A little bit of oil in the pan, get it nicely coated. We're gonna throw in some onions. And the pan's not too hot because I just wanna sweat everything down. I don't want any color here. So I'm sweating down some onions. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt because we're building flavors on top of flavors. We add a little bit of green peppers here. Again, a little more salt. Then we're gonna add in the garlic here, right in, that garlic paste that we have. And we're gonna saute this up really good together. Get that garlic broken up really well. One of the most important parts of this recipe is toasting. I call toasting the spices or blooming the spices. Is you're adding in your spices right now. You don't want to put in raw spices. So add that cumin, add that adobo. And what this does, it blooms the spices. It makes them more powerful than just throwing them in raw or just sprinkling on the top and letting it simmer. We add in our black beans, all of it in there. We give it a little stir. And I know you're thinking like, JJ, these beans are perfect. No, they're not. They're just a great foundation. You're gonna add more flavor to it. We're gonna add in our vegetable stock, okay? We're gonna add in our chorizo. Add in our chorizo to get all the smokiness. Yeah, a little fat in there too, why not? Bay leaves. Bay leaves are a must. A little salt. Come on, look in that pot right there. Look in there. That's beautiful. All right, the cover. Oh no, hold on. I need some cilantro. And you can just grab it. And the reason why I'm just ripping it with my hands is that you're gonna get this hard simmer and it's gonna break apart. I want those stems. I want those leaves. I want all that flavor. Let's just rip it apart really nice. And if you're here, if you're smelling this right now, this is a flavor bomb. All that cumin, all that adobo, all that chorizo, the bay leaves are already starting to simmer with the cilantro. And then you just throw that top right on top. Get a nice sheet tray. Drizzle a little bit of oil at the bottom of your pan. And then I like to go onions down. You spread it out evenly. You want it all to touch the bottom. You don't want, maybe they overlap a little bit. And then some green peppers, okay? And then a little bit of more oil on top. It's smooth. You can meditate when you do this. It's easy. And then salt. Bring that hand up, get the salt everywhere. And then I'm gonna put it in my preheated oven. That's 400 degrees, and get it nicely golden brown. All right, y'all. This is the moment I've been waiting for, and I know you've been waiting for. We have our beautiful rice here, our beautiful lime rice. We're gonna add in our cilantro right on top, a little bit of lime juice. Gonna get a little bit of punch there. We're just gonna fluff that up. Okay, so we're gonna toast this beautiful tortilla right in a dry skillet, just to warm it up a little bit, to get it nice and pliable. So I'm gonna flip that over. And then now we're gonna build. So I like to try to put everything right in the middle of the tortilla and not let it go too far out to the edges. I want about 3 inches from the edge, and then take our rice. And this is where it gets a little tricky. You get excited. I'm getting excited. I don't want to put too much. Put our cheese. I'm putting the cheese right on the rice because I want that to melt really nice. And then our peppers and our onions. I already know I put too much in the middle, but it's all good. That's what it's about. Some tomatoes. And then you pinch the outside and you pinch the bottom and you roll it up. And as you're rolling, let me show you something. Some stuff might start to fall out. That's okay. And you can see if it's gonna fall out. I use the back part of my knife and I pull it out. And that's gonna make it right into the next burrito. And then we roll that down. And what you can do is you throw it right in your pan right here. Take a little bit of oil, drop it around the outside. And it's gonna start to get nice and golden brown. But you just rotate it all on each side. All right, y'all, look at these beautiful golden rice hand snacks, AKA burritos, super golden brown. And then I love to cut these in half because I'm a sharing person. When you're in the kitchen, it's all about sharing. So cut it in half. I hand this one to you. I hand that one to you. And look inside here, you got the tomatoes, the chorizo, the cilantro, the romaine, the black beans. That's the winner. The smokiness, the stickiness from the rice, that lime juice we dropped on top, the tomatoes, or the freshness of the tomatoes. I love that you want to learn about rice because you're watching me. And when you're watching me, it's all about rice. But come on now, go over to my friend Shola off script. She's making chicken and rice many different ways, and I know you're gonna love it.